Hey students, how are you all? Today I'm here with my next video. As I told you in the last class that I'm going to do line by line explanation of the poem Roadside Stand in this video. So let's just get started. So here I attached a part of the poem. As I told you earlier, Roadside Stand is a long poem. But in today's video you can see only some part of the text, which is the first and the second stanza of the poem. I didn't came up with the full text because it is too long, and I thought the lines that I will be explaining to you today, those lines I will only present in front of you. Okay, the line which I am going to explain you today, those lines I am presenting in front of you so that you can follow those lines and get the meanings of those lines clearly. I hope you all got my point. So coming to the text. The first stanza of the text is like this. The little old house was put out with a little new shed in front at the edge of the road where the traffic sped. A roadside stand that too pathetically pled, it would not be fair to say for a dole of bread, but for some money, the cash whose flow supports the flower of cities from sinking and withering faint. This is the first stanza of the poem. What does it mean? The farmers who belonged from the small old house had put up a shed, which is the stand at the front corner of the road, where usually there is a huge rush of the people. As the farmers had put up a roadside stand because he is not able to earn well from the farming, that's why he is selling the vegetables like berries and squash by putting up a stand at the edge of the road. His condition seems to be very pathetic. The farmer had opted to sell the vegetables not only for his footing or his survival, but also for his source of income, to get some money out of it. Okay, to make some money out of it by selling the vegetables like berries, wild berries and squash. But as we can see from the text, the cars passed along the highways, but few stopped to buy anything from him. In fact, no one showed any interest in his items, even avoided to give a look towards it. Even a small fraction of the money the city dwellers were awash with eluded the snack owner. What does it mean? That the city dwellers were not at all interested to pay a small amount of money to the poor vegetable seller, okay, who has put up a roadside stand for the sake of his earning. He vainly looked at the passers-by with eyes seeking attention. He was just wondering that some people would visit his stall and buy something from him so that he can get some money for his livelihood. His rudimentary counter didn't merit any traveler's curiosity. The traveler were not at all curious why he had put up a stall at the side of the corner of the road, and what is the path, why he is in a pathetic condition, why he is so sad, why he is so in a distress. Okay, nobody was in any kind of curiosity to know all these things. The only things they focused, the only thing the city dweller focused upon, that was only to complain. Okay, this is the first stanza of the poem. Next, coming to the second stanza, the polished traffic passed with a mind ahead, or if ever aside a moment, then out of sorts, at having the landscape marked with artless pent of signs that with end turned wrong, s turned wrong, offered for sale wild berries in wooden quarts, or crook-necked golden quash with silver warts, or beauty rest in a beautiful mountain scene. You have the money, but if you want to be mean, why keep your money this grossly and go along? This is the second stanza of the poem. The meaning is that the travelers belonged to the well-to classes. They were very highly educated and they were very rich. The glamour they are used to was lacking in the way side counter. The glamour they were used to were not present in that roadside stand. Okay. Seldom did they look at it. If ever they did, it was more to express disgust at the poorly painted and poorly displayed north and south direction. As I told you earlier, if they just focused on them, on the farm, on the vegetable seller, they focused only due to complaints, out of complaints. Okay. If they are focusing on the vegetable sellers, if they are curious about them, the reason was that to complain about the things present around him. Okay. So disgusts at the poorly painted and poorly displayed north and south direction both. The humble farmer, soliciting eyes, had little impact on them. The farmers mockingly expressed their anger. The vegetable seller, who is also a farmer, mockingly expressed his anger on the city people who used to come to their stand for taking out some kind of information, but did not even bother to buy anything from them. And that is the reason the farmer sarcastically says to those people, if you are having the money, then keep your money. Don't show off your attitudes to the poor, and don't be mean to the poor, and don't treat them as if they don't exist in the world. Don't treat the poor as if they don't have any kind of existence in the world. The farmer says that even we poor are having some kind of importance in the society. So he pleads to the not only pleads, he doesn't plead, he sarcastically says to the city dwellers that so don't ignore us, we are having a kind of importance in the society as you are having, that's why don't please ignore us, don't avoid us, and don't look down on us. Okay, so this is the thing the farmer mockingly says to the city dwellers. The farmer offered wild berries kept in antique looking jars. It was the containers. The freshly extracted juice kept in the containers. The city folks passing past the humble counters looked joyfully at rocks and the mountains that stood in the backdrop. Okay, the scenery has been described in the poem. The background, the location, you must say, of the roadside stand, but felt it below their status to stop over to buy such fresh produce from their lowly farms. So the farmers used to sell the wild berries and quash and some juices. Okay, but the city dwellers were very much ashamed of that, of not buying those products fresh products from those vegetable sellers, because they thought that the city dwellers thought that it was not of their time, it was too much low, it was they were having a kind of very lowly feeling to buy products like those. Their wealth had made them blind to such humble but priceless offering coming straight from the fields. Okay, so the wealth, they were very rich, and so their wealth had made them blind, and that is why they had been so rude, so cruel to the poor, humble people, and the priceless thing they were, uh, the priceless thing, those things which they can have, they don't have any kind of importance of those things, they don't know any kind of importance of those things. These are the two stanzas, okay, of the poem which I explained to you all line by line. I hope you all understood the lines till here. In my next video, I'll be continuing the explanation of the rest of the stanzas of this poem. So I'll take your leave now and meet you in the next class. Till then, go through the lines that I had taught, and please focus on the lines. Till then, goodbye.